Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special edition / episode / whatever you want to call it of the Progressive Army talking about junk show title to be determined. I am joined this afternoon by my alliteratively named co-host, Nicholas Nowlin. Say hi, Nick.
I keep forgetting to do that, huh? How's everybody doing? Just glad to go ahead and give a little commentary for today.
Yeah. And my producer, as always, is David Grossman. Say hello, David, you bald, sexy man, you.
Hi, David.
See, he gets it. He gets it. He gets the joke, Nick. Anyway, so we join you today to talk about the Trump's executive order on banning Muslim refugees and visa holders that was implemented over the past few days, in the reaction around America to that ban, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For those of you who don't know and are just tuning in and have been under a rock for the past day and a half, et cetera, Trump signed an executive order that restricts travel to America from refugees of 7 countries: Sudan, Syria, Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. Am I forgetting anything?
You said Yemen, Sudan.
Yeah. Okay.
Syria,
so that's all.
Iraq, Iran.
If you're a stickler, there's North and South Sudan, but that's not the point of this show. So basically,
That's new.
That's new. But anyway, so basically, signed executive order. For those of you who do not know, an executive order simply means that it's instructions on how a specific institution, the institution under control of the president will enforce various laws, in this case ICE and Department of Homeland Security. So basically what this order says that for 90 days people from these countries will not be allowed into America. 120 days visa seekers will be as well. And what this did was people who were already on their way to America when this occurred were being detained at airports around the United States, which led to protests. People were being turned away in other countries due to this new executive order. And so we're here to talk about that. Right, Nick?
That's right.
Okay, so what do you think?
Okay, so having a moratorium or some sort of restriction on immigrants from specific countries is not something new in America. So, on that point, I'm okay with it. However, within the climate that we have today, where it seems like it may be, bigoted policy or coming from a bigoted place, I have an objection to that. Now, at the same time, we have to realize, though, when you have restrictions like these, it's not in a vacuum, right? So you can't have policies where you create tons of refugees and then decide you want to not deal with the refugee crisis that you've created. And so I think that, that's particularly bothersome. And what's interesting, though, is, this is similar to a ban Barack Obama put in place, under his term for at least Syria and Iran. He did this exact same thing. And I guess Trump just took it to the next level by having 7 countries instead of 2.
Well, there's certainly exacerbation there, right? So let's really unpack what you just said. So the most important part is that the free movement of people across the United States of America, across the world, is not necessarily something that we agree with inherently, but that's a different conversation than this, right? This is the conversation about what is the impetus for this ban, which by all intents and purposes, by all reasonable interpretations, is bigotry. It's Islamophobia. It's thinly veiled Islamophobia in that it's being guised as some kind of stance against radical terrorism or radical Islamist terrorism. Although we know that the majority of these people from these countries belong to Shia groups, which are basically fleeing ISIS, as opposed to. Yeah, I'm not mistaken, right? I don't have that backwards. They're fleeing ISIS. They're fleeing these unstable conditions that were created by the various wars in the Middle East, the various drone strikes that have been going on. All of these countries that we're talking about now have been at the very least tangentially affected by the drone warfare that Barack Obama has been operating over the past under his presidential term, and now we see this ban. At the same time, though, this becomes a conversation about what this religious extremism that exists within Trump's cabinet, right? Because this is not simply unfounded hatred of Islamophobia, an unfounded fear of, an ungrounded fear of Muslims. This is very, very heavily grounded in some sort of Christian holy war with the Islamic world. But also separate out from his business interests, because we know the countries which he's doing business with are not being affected by this ban, even though these countries are the countries like Pakistan, countries like Egypt, countries like Saudi Arabia, where the terrorists who instigated and perpetrated 9/11 came from. So the Trump cabinet is full of religious extremists.
Let me say something about that, though. The criticism that he didn't ban countries that he's doing business with, I think that that's not like he's consciously avoided those countries because he's doing business with them. I think that those countries have special relationships with the United States, and they're allies in some regard. And when you have those special relationships with those types of countries, business people generally do go in and say, okay, it's safe for me to do business there. So it's not as if he's like, trying to protect his business or whatever. That's something that is a separate issue altogether. And I think that's unfair.
Oh no, I agree. And I think that I was just laying it out there. I do think it obfuscates from the larger point, but there are so many layers to this, right? There is a special relationship that America has with Saudi royalty, with Pakistan, with a variety of other countries that are, for lack of a better term, the greatest supporters of terrorism in the Middle East and around the world. And there's also the religious extremism that exists in Trump's cabinet in the form of Steve Bannon and Frank Gaffney and Mike Pompeo to a lesser extent, that views this as a holy war. And that has roots all the way back to the beginning of this war, of rather our invasion of the Middle East under George W. Bush. This idea that this is a holy war that we are waging with Islam, and America is a Christian country. And just on Friday, Trump had an interview with the Christian Broadcasting Network where he basically laid out this unfounded accusation that Muslim refugees were being given special treatment as they came to America over Christian refugees, and he was going to reverse that and give Christian refugees better favor under the immigration policy under his administration. But I do want to talk about one aspect of this. So what Trump is doing is reprehensible, right? I think we can't support any policy that is rooted in both ignorance and, definitely ignorance of the reality rather of terrorism, how you fight terrorism, what terrorism looks like, who are most likely to be radicalized, et cetera, but also founded in just pure bigotry for members of Islam, of the Islamic religion. But we also cannot treat this as though it is so out of step with what America has been doing for the past 2 decades, right? We can't sit there and pretend as though this came from nowhere and it has no basis in what we've been leading up to. And that is not to say this is not radically awful, right? This is awful. And it's surprising the speed at which he has engaged in all of these bad policy decisions. It's only been a week, right? It's been a week, a little bit more. And he's done so many awful things. It makes you wonder why Obama couldn't do more good things in a week, but
yeah,
whatever.
Well, hold on. That's important. I think it's important that we always be laying that down. A lot of people are just saying, Obama's gone and now it's all focused on Trump. It's like, no.
Before
Trump
you finish that, I just want to let everybody know, this is David in the production room. I just want to let everyone know that what's on your screen right now is courtesy of the Robust Opposition, and Dave Ponin streamed yesterday for showing the protest at JFK Airport. We'll be showing stuff from Dallas and Boston in a little bit as well.
And yeah, thank you. And this is not about comparing Trump and Obama, right? This is not about saying Trump gets a free pass because Obama started these policies, or that Trump is not worse than Obama. This is about recognizing the genealogy that got us here, right? This is about recognizing there's an evolution, and that if Trump is out of step with our past 3 presidents, it's only by 1 or 2 steps. It's not by an entire staircase. But what is occurring, which is unfortunate, is this inability to recognize how we got here and that where we're at now is very grounded in where we were before. And like the world is not radically different from a term from. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick. I'm talking too much.
Yeah, I was going to say this is not, going from 0 to 60 at breakneck speed. There was a slow acceleration, and Democrats and Republicans have collectively, basically during their time period has maintained a stern foot on the accelerator, so to speak. Like they've kept that acceleration constant, and so now we are at 60 miles an hour, and we're going faster. So what I want to say though is to keep in mind that this is similar to the ban that Barack Obama put in place on Iran and Syria. It's almost the exact same thing, except it includes more countries. And nobody was really protesting when Obama did it. Some people might have voiced some protest, but the point about bringing this kind of stuff up, like to push back, to go back to what you said earlier, is not necessarily, like you said, trying to vindicate someone. It's to try to recognize that these policies didn't just come out of nowhere, that these policies have been done by presidents previously, which you may not have had such a strong objection to. We're trying to depersonalize the bad policy. Basically, it's not Trump that's doing it. It's the policy that's the problem. It's not Trump's the problem. The policy is the problem. Because when that policy is done under Hillary Clinton or if it's done under Barack Obama, we want to make sure there's as much robust opposition to it as there is right now. We don't want Donald Trump to just be the face of all evil. And once he's gone, everything's back, everything's still hunky-dory and everybody goes back home.
Yeah, exactly. That's really the point here, is to understand how do we not only resist Trump, but resist the conditions that led us to Trump, and to resist what Trump represents. Because in a lot of ways, Trump is this convenient scapegoat for a lot of people, and not only on the right or on the left, but a lot of people are using this sort of they're grifting based on Trump. The Democratic Party right now is grifting and trying to maintain control based on opposition to Trump, and it's very frustrating because they're also responsible for getting us to this point where we are right now. And I sit here wondering, well, after this Muslim ban occurred, are we going to see any kind of retaliation from Senate Dems on his cabinet picks? Are we going to see any kind of Democratic red line drawn here? Are they going to try to stop working with him and say, okay, anyone who does something like this needs to be more than just worked with on individual issues? We need to have a different stance towards him because he's an incredibly dangerous, incredibly problematic person. Or are we going to see more of this kind of passing the buck forward every, we can't resist his picks, we'll resist their actions. We can't resist their actions, we'll resist his next picks. It's sort of moving forward of responsibility. And it's frustrating. I'm glad in a certain way that people are now awake enough to notice these problems, because that's great, right? America is awake now. America was in a lot of ways lulled to sleep by a variety of factors. But now that we're awake, we have to play catch up in terms of understanding how we got here. We can't keep doing this. Oh, the past is the past. The past is the past. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We have to no. There's plenty of time to worry about the past while we're doing this at the same time.
Yeah, I think without recognizing, how you got here, it's really hard to figure out, how not to be right back in the exact same place in a different time. We can basically be in an endless time loop, unless we understand exactly how we got to where we are and kind of forge a way forward that's going to be radically different from the way we've been moving forward before. The number one thing I'm going to say is, Donald Trump's policies are definitely rough, but a lot of them are remarkably contiguous with Barack Obama's policies, and I won't stop saying that. And you're probably gonna get tired of hearing me say that, but I'm not gonna stop saying it. I'm gonna say it until we all collectively understand that that's what we're up against. That there is no hero. The Democratic Party is no savior, and the Republican Party is not the devil. That's not.
They're the devil. They're definitely. It's not that black and white though. It's not the Democratic Party is God and the Republican devil. The Democratic Party is just a lesser devil, and that's why we're having this conversation. It's not to absolve Trump. It's not, but in not absolving Trump based on what Obama did, we also can't absolve Obama based on what Trump did. And that's another negative effect of lesser two evils politics, right? People are unable to conceptualize something as less evil. They just simply make it good in their head. And like, oh well, it's subjectively good. It is objectively good, and that's just not the case. Like, period. Case closed. And we have to understand what Obama did, because here's the thing. A lot of Trump's cabinet picks, a lot of these people who are working within his administration are using the precedent set by Obama to justify their own behavior. They are using that sort of like, well, why can't we continue the drone program? Why can't we escalate it? And see, that was something people were warning us about when it was happening. People were saying, hey, we can't keep this stuff up. We can't keep escalating, violence in the Middle East, because, we can't keep expanding the surveillance state. We can't keep removing transparency from government. We can't keep doing all these things, because eventually Obama won't be president. And you had, a lot of people going to act like as though he would be president forever. They were living that sort of fever dream. Obama was always going to be my president. Obama going to be president forever. It's like now he's gone, and Hillary Clinton is tweeting out, I support people staying with refugees. It's like, where are you?
Well, I'm glad she's not around. We don't need her around at all. Like, I don't understand why wasn't Hillary Clinton at the Women's March. Well, she doesn't give a shit about feminism or whatever. She doesn't give a shit, and it's okay. It's okay. I think it's fine that we understand that now, so we can stop talking about Hillary Clinton and looking to Hillary Clinton. We shouldn't be. Just let her go. Let her go. Let Barack Obama go. They're done. They're not there to help you. They're not nothing to you. Like, if you're in a struggle for truth and justice, if you're in a struggle for battling against, real injustice in America, those people are not the people you need to be looking to, because those people were in power before and they did nothing to help your struggle. Like, why are you still looking to them as though they're going to come through on a white horse and save you? The only people that are going to save you is you getting out and getting involved with other individuals.
So for those tuning in right now, we're talking about the executive order issued by Trump on immigration and the what's been called the Muslim ban. On the right side is Houston Airport footage that happened last night. On the top on the left is JFK Airport from yesterday. Yeah. And on the bottom left is Boston Airport. Benjamin Dixon was there.
And it's important to remember, like, these are not just refugees. These people with actual green cards, right? The people who actually have, legal right to be in our country under different set of criteria than simply refugees or people seeking asylum. And so the Democratic Party is not as bad as the Republican Party is, just period. But what they are not is not the savior of the people. They are not substantial resistance to the Republican Party, as we've seen over the past week, as they basically have allowed all of Trump's picks through with very little actual opposition, just a lot of symbolic opposition. And so I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of opposition arises out of the Democratic Party after this. Like what are Democrats going to do in response to this? Like, now that this is beyond the pale. And they don't get me wrong. No matter what President Obama did prior to this is beyond the pale. This is absolutely excessive and wrong and unconstitutional. So they need to treat it as such. And if the Democratic Party is not prepared to treat it as, excessive, wrong, and unconstitutional, then that just reveals them for what they are. And so I'm curious to see when something this egregious happens, what do they actually do?
Well, again, I'm still not on the whole. They're really lesser evil. I just don't agree with it. Like, I feel like the way that they do things creates a situation where it brings about this. And since that is what they do, they may be objectively better in the instant, but in some kind of continuum or in the feedback loop, they're just as bad, because they create the situations where Republicans come back and win and do all this crazy stuff. Then we go back to them, and then they do the same thing. They create a situation where Republicans come back and win again. They don't fix anything. They don't address anything. And so to me, when you think about it like that, it's hard for me to say they're necessarily lesser. I just think they're just different.
I'm not really interested in comparing them in that way. Let's talk more about this particular executive order, right?
Before we do that, what I want to do is go play a 45-second clip of Representative Jeffries, who's been involved in getting detainees released at JFK. This is only about 45 seconds long. He gave an update, and this was posted by Jack Smith on Twitter. It's only, again, only about 45 seconds long, so I'm going to play that real quick.
2 were released earlier this morning. 4 were just released within the last 30 minutes. There are at least 7 individuals currently detained here at Terminal 4. There's 1 individual that we just found out that is being detained at Terminal 7. She's a lawful permanent resident. Of the 7 individuals who are here, at least 1 is a lawful permanent resident. Others were en route as a result of visas that had been signed off on by the United States government and were in the air when this order came down, arrived, and were immediately detained.
Is anyone else who's still in there in jeopardy of not getting released today?
There was concern, and one of the reasons why I was called to
So that was just a short clip of him talking about the detainees being released. If I can find the full press conference, we might play that in a little bit. But I know Brandon wanted to discuss the nuance more about the executive order. We also have a statement from the New York Taxi Association, I believe it is. I can get that to you guys in a bit if you look at the DM we share.
Oh, I mean, insofar I want to talk about the nuance of this executive order, I want to talk about the countries banned, right? So it's worth mentioning again, even though we mentioned at the top of the show, that the countries banned and the people who are refugees from those countries are not the ones who have been prone to attacking Americans in the past, insofar that that is like an actual thing that happened. So let's be very clear. The probability of one of these asylum seekers actually participating in a terrorist attack is like what, 2 in a billion, and that is obviously obscenely low. And on the other hand, these are people who are seeking refuge from ISIS, right? These are people who are seeking refuge from the radical Islamist Sunni Islamist group. Again, if I'm mistaking that, forgive me. ISIS, who have been largely empowered by the United States interference in the Middle East. And furthermore, we are actually, like, if you believe that this is about terrorism and not simply just a radical Christian, semi-capitalist ban of Muslim countries who we're bombing, then why is Saudi Arabia not on that list? Why is Pakistan not on that list? Why is Egypt not on it? Like, these places where terrorists are, like we said before, again, places where not only do terrorists come from, but the government, people in charge of the country, especially within Saudi Arabia, are known to actually fund terrorist organizations. And a lot of it comes down to our relations with these countries. A lot of it comes down to the incestuous nature of Middle Eastern and American relationships, and the way oil prices actually, in the way government business is handled. You're muted, Nick. You're still muted, Nick. You're muted on the.
Okay, I accidentally muted myself, so I didn't make any noise during the video there. But I'm definitely in agreement. I'm definitely in agreement with that statement. Like, the office is powerful, and it can just do stuff. Like, we just have to recognize how powerful the presidency is. So moving forward, we don't make excuses like, oh, well, he can't do all that. Like, this is serious business, and I hope, like I said before, I hope that after this is all said and done, that people, basically really start focusing in on the policies that are problematic and not just the person, and make sure that whoever gets that office, we can really move them in the direction of doing what's right, and don't let them be hobbled by, stuff like, oh, well, he can't do everything.
Absolutely. And I mean, insofar that we keep going back to the way we got here, and I know people don't like that I keep bringing up the past, which is odd to me, but it's the very recent past, because one of the the last actions of President Obama was to bomb some people, right? So so what I mean is, like, if you believe, so why say Trump is not so far out of step? Like, he's definitely in excess of this system we've been building, definitely 100%, but he's not that excessive, right? So what I mean to say is that, like, if you believe, or if you have tacitly accepted either the explicit rhetoric or the implications of the actions of our last few presidents as it comes to the Middle East, like this is not that incongruous, right? So like if we've been bombing these countries to shit, we've been bombing these countries, just 27,000 plus bombs dropped in these countries. Like, what is the rationale for that in your head? Why is that okay? Unless these are countries that in some way have populations that are incredibly savage and incredibly like prone to violence. And that's not to say that people are thinking at the conscious level, but but that's implication there, right? Like, how do we justify the bombs that we're dropping on these places if not for the fact these people are dangerous? And so I'm happy that people are out there protesting this, right? But these same people should have been out there. I can't comment on whether they were or not, but I would have liked to see the same mobilization around all the bombings. It's that's my point. And I'm not, it's not to say we can go back and relitigate the past. I'm saying now that we are awake, we have to treat the past with careful consideration and not act as though this stuff is completely it's completely insane, right? But don't act like it's completely out of America's been insane for a long time.
Yeah. Like I think what you're getting at is hugely important. So much so, like I have to say, like I'm just in full agreement. Like what we're dealing with here is definitely repugnant, right? But at the same time, it's just like you said, like it's not out of the ordinary from what we're used to having to deal with here in America. That's a sad thing to have to admit. That's not good to have to admit that, but it is what it is, and we need to face that, objectively.
And absolutely, and not only that, it's just like this is not going to even not unfortunately. This is only going to make the problem that it's supposed to be combating worse, right? So this is it's like Iran said, this is a gift to ISIS. This is a gift to Islamist extremists around the world. This is a recruitment tool. Going out there and having basically what amounts to a wholesale ban of, well, not wholesale, obviously, a very considered ban of Muslims from fleeing extremism is only going to cause more extremism. It's only going to cause more a rise in Islamic terrorism, and it shows that these people aren't really interested in fighting terrorism in any meaningful way, in the same way that a lot of people aren't really interested in fighting crime in any meaningful way. They're simply interested in controlling what they consider to be dangerous populations.
Controlling what they consider to be dangerous populations. Okay, I can definitely see that. Like, I'm just really not sure how to make sure that like this resistance and things of that nature, the resistance to these policies doesn't just turn into just resistance to Trump. And I know I keep saying that, but yes, what he's doing is definitely bad, but not bad because we're supposed to let, anybody and everybody, just come over here and not have any control over the borders whatsoever. Right. But it's bad because he's particularly singling out a specific people where he's, for their religious beliefs or their country of origin, with no real rationale other than bigotry.
And it's not okay. So here's the thing: it's not even okay. So let's be completely unpolitically correct. It's not even the right Muslims, right? Like that's the thing. It's not even the right. It's not the right countries. It's not the right sect. It's not even the right Muslims. So, and this comes down to the ignorance on the part of it's not ignorance about Trump. The Trump administration knows exactly what they're doing. But it comes down to the ignorance on the part of a large part of the populace who supported this kind of rhetoric and talk. Like, they don't even know the difference between Shia and Sunni. They don't even know the difference between Saudi Arabia and Syria as it comes down to terrorism. And so we have the situation where like this action is counterintuitive to the goals that they think it's going to it's counterintuitive to its professed goals, but it can still be used when it increases terrorism to justify itself, right? So when this increases terrorism, people are going to see, oh, there's more Muslim extremists. I guess we need more bans. Like, no, like that's the problem, right?
Yep. And this is something that's played out like multiple times in the world scene, like where you begin to treat people unfairly or or really harshly, or repress them really harshly with horrible policy, and then like they lash out, and then you use their lashing out to increase the repression, increase the atrocities performed against that very same group. And I think the closest parallel I can think of is Israel.
Let's take a little break right now. Not a break, but let's. The New York City Taxi Union actually put out a statement in response to the people who were being detained at the airport. At the time, I think it was 10 people being detained. There were 10 people being detained at the airport. So the New York City Taxi Workers Alliance put out this statement. Professional drivers are over 20 times more likely to be murdered on the job than other workers. By sanctioning bigotry with his unconstitutional and inhumane executive order banning Muslim refugees from 7 countries, the president is putting professional drivers in more danger than they have been in any time since 9/11, when hate crimes against immigrants skyrocketed. Our 19,000 member strong union stands firmly opposed to Donald Trump's Muslim ban. As an organization whose membership is largely Muslim, a workforce that's almost universally immigrant, and a working class movement that is rooted in the defense of the oppressed, we say no to this inhumane and unconstitutional ban. We know all too well that when government programs sanction outright Islamophobia and the rhetoric of hate is spewed from the bully pulpit, hate crimes increase and drivers suffer gravely. Our Sikh and other non-Muslim brown and black members also suffer from anti-Muslim violence. Today, drivers are joining the protest at JFK Airport in support of all those who are currently being detained at the airport because of Trump's unconstitutional executive order. Drivers stand in solidarity with refugees coming to America in search of peace and safety, and with those who are simply trying to return to their homes here in America after traveling abroad. We stand in solidarity with all of our peace-loving neighbors against this inhumane, cruel, and unconstitutional act of pure bigotry. And after they went on, boycott, strike, etc., Uber stepped in to take over the burden of their.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I do agree. Like, this is good that it's coming from the union. I think that that's a really good thing that they're coming in and standing up for the people, their membership. This is actually, something that I would like more unions to do, because it seems like a lot of times they've kind of been cowed in many respects. But defending your membership is definitely something to be lauded. And it's not something that's done all the time. And I just want to point that out. Like, a lot of times that kind of stuff gets sacrificed for whatever reason.
Yeah. And I mean, but this is the sort of, I like that they got out there and laid out the facts, right? That even in the aftermath of 9/11 and since then, Muslim Americans and Muslim immigrants have been seen increased violence. This rhetoric of Christian immigrants being the most oppressed, et cetera, it's horseshit, and it leads to more violence against Muslim people. It's a very nitty gritty of it that this kind of action has real effects. And I think that in a lot of cases where people find that, oh, well, I don't know which is the lesser two evils, no, this is why I understand that Trump is more evil than Clinton, because rhetoric has power. It's they laid out right there. The bully pulpit will embolden people to commit anti-Muslim hate crimes. And that is incredibly problematic. And so it behooves us to recognize the power that is in the position.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying we have to really start evaluating and really respecting the power of the presidency for a long time, because it's a powerful position, and it really just goes to show you that, like I said before, whoever uses it, whoever's in there next, saying that they can't do everything or they can't really change a lot of stuff, it's just lying. That's just not being honest.
Well, and it's worth mentioning, of course, that there was that a federal judge did put a stay on this executive order, until it could be ruled on. However, ICE and Department of Homeland Security are still clients of it in a lot of ways. So when we have conflict between certain branches of government, it's great. It's completely amazing.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much kind of gone and gave our thoughts on it. I'm probably going to close out because I got to run here in a bit. David.
we'll start streaming some of the clips that I found. I know Anoa is also going to the protest in Atlanta. That should be within the next 2 hours. I think we should start getting footage from her. And we're looking for some footage that's been sent to us. But the hosts may fail to try to make most of the Sunday. We'll stick with you and stream some of the coverage. Nick, Benjamin, did you have anything else?
I just want to say it is amazing how fast Trump has moved, right? Like it is amazing, and it really shows of the Trump administration and the stupidity of him as a leader in terms of like how much bad stuff he tried to push out in 1 week. Like nearly not a day has gone by where there hasn't been something to be pissed off about Trump at, and it becomes very I don't know how to say this judiciously, right? I'll say without sounding really, really mean, but people need to stay engaged here, right? We can't simply be on the defensive when it comes to Trump, and that's why the term resistance kind of is not. It's not aggressive enough, right? Like we can't let Trump let the left on the back foot and let him dictate the pace, because he will keep us at a breakneck pace. Like we've seen that, right? And from the past week, people could already be exhausted. People, like activists I've talked to from, on the ground, are already exhausted because this past week has been like I don't know.
I mean, I have to agree with you. Like in politics, being on the defense is never where you want to be. And the reason why is because the defense kind of, I don't know how or why, but the defense is inherently weak. Like, I don't know why the defense is inherently weak. It doesn't always have to be, but I think in America, with the situation or the status quo being so bad, anything trying to maintain just ultimately it's just fighting on uneven footing with anything proposing some sort of change, right or otherwise. So I think it behooves us to always be on the offense and not have to bother with letting him set our pace, and things of that nature. Just like you said, letting them set the terrain, letting them set the frame of the conversation. I think Democrats have been doing that for a long time, where they let the right do those types of things, and we just need to push back.
And I agree. And I think that's been like the problem, right? So, and here's where I can say Trump will in some way benefit the conversation, because for a long time, the Democratic Party has been like, they've been acting as though the rules of politics has not changed. Like they've been at the Democratic Party in the Senate and the House have been acting as though the rules are the same as they've always been. Like they were the same, under Reagan, before Reagan. Like the politics has not changed. Oh, the mandate, like political capital, like this is a game of chess. Mm-hmm. And I think that if this does not convince the Democratic Party that the rules have changed, you're saying they're trying to play chess with a group of people who, like, or rather, for an analogy, if we're going to call this like a chess between Democrats and Republicans. The Republicans have taken the board, thrown it out, set the house on fire, and Democrats are just still sitting there trying to play chess in a burning house by themselves. Or the Republicans just like dance around a burning house. And I'm hoping that now, without President Obama there to lull the Democrats into a false sense of security about the way that the government was headed, that we can now see some vigorous confrontation of these structural issues. Maybe not with this set of Democrats, but with the next set of Democrats, with the next set of anyone who's in Congress, because I think the Democrats we have now are too accustomed to playing this game. They are so conditioned to play these political games by, years and years of, I guess, politicking, putting politics over policy, that they failed to recognize that the rules were changing and they were being left behind. And indicative of that, them being left behind, is their categorical losses over at every level.
Yes.
The rule of the politics, and that's not because their ideas are unpopular. That's because they're playing the game wrong. And I think or rather, their personal ideas are unpopular because they're personally neoliberal. But the ideas of progressivism are not unpopular. But they've been working under this outmoded political system, this outmoded rhetoric. A lot of because of Clinton's triangulation, right? So like they've been drinking that Kool-Aid too. But they need to update their style. they need to understand that these rules have changed. They've been changed for a long time, and if they don't contend with the fact that they've changed, that we're going to see more of this. And hopefully that the one good thing that can come from the Trump administration is that the left, whether it be Democrats or a new party or whatever, understands that politics as it used to exist between the Republicans and Democrats no longer works that way. It simply does not work that way anymore. And you can't be a reasonable person in unreasonable times. It only makes you weaker. And so hopefully, like I said, I'm optimistic. Hopefully in this next week, with the cabinet positions and all other stuff, we see vigorous resistance, that they claim to be doing, right? We see some vigorous resistance. We don't see any more symbolic press conference, any more funny questions. We see some real, I'm going to curse, but bleep Trump and bleep his cabinet. And so what do you think? Sorry.
Oh, I just want them to do, I don't hold out any hope for them. I'm not optimistic. They're probably going to roll over, and we're going to get hit with a whole bunch of nasty policies because they're fighting a battle to maintain supremacy, over the left, right? And a good tool to do that is to show what Donald Trump's policies are. So, if you have control of the media, and you basically get to shape how the opposition to Trump is going to be, you can use this moment to solidify your control over the party. And that's a scary thing. Hopefully, the grassroots is able to resist that. Hopefully they're able to, get in the habit of getting out there and getting involved and really, really trying to show that their interests are different from the interests of the ruling class or the politicians in general. And take that those lessons learned, take that experience moving forward to resist problematic policies from whoever.
Yeah, that's what makes the left so vulnerable right now, right? So the left is strong, the left base is strong, but it's in a very vulnerable position right now because unfortunately there is this concerted effort, and I would say there's a bigger effort on the left. From the Democratic establishment to co-opt to defeat the left and the insurgency on the left than there is in the Republicans, right? The Republicans are not necessarily concerned about the left. They have everything, they've won everything, they can basically do what they want. But the Democrats, instead of actively fighting, they're resisting. They're not actively fighting the right in their policies. They're so concerned with co-opting every little message, every little event. Can they erase protests? Can they erase some protests and promote other protests? Can they do these? Can they play these little mind games to keep themselves in power, even at the expense of losing more ground to the Republicans? Because that was the lesson that we learned from the general election, right? That they would rather have a Republican president insofar than they would rather lose control of their own party.
Yeah.
And that's a very problematic mentality because it shows you where their priorities are. The Democratic establishment would rather have Trump than they would rather have Bernie Sanders. So that shows you where their priority is going to be in the aftermath of the election. That's where the resistance priority is, and you shouldn't be confused by that. Their priority is before we can fight Trump, we have to maintain control of our own party, and that's going to. We can't allow that. Democrats cannot be allowed to position themselves as a legitimate alternative to neo-fascism because they're not. What they are is the precursor to neo-fascism. They're neoliberals, and they have their own lighter version of fascism, but they are not a legitimate solution to the fascism. They are simply just fascism light, neoliberalism, whatever you want to call it. The predicate to it, and so. What are you talking about, Keith Olbermann or the Women's March? Not the Women's March as it exists on the ground, which was a conglomeration of a lot of different women of a lot of different backgrounds. But the Women's March, as it was co-opted by the mainstream media and your Rachel Maddow's as this sort of burgeoning movement that till the Democratic Party is still viable, we have to be wary of those things, right? We have to be wary of the Democratic Party in all of its manifestations, not just the literal establishment, but also the media, and their goal of co-opting the narratives of the left, because they've already co-opted the word progressive. That's what they're doing now. It's already happening, and so that shows you where their priorities are, right? It shows when President Obama comes out there And he's talking about the weaknesses of the ACA as being, or rather perceiving it as ACA, not because it is a neoliberal giveaway to corporations, not because the Republicans have been hammering away on it for literally since its inception, literally, but because the Bernie Sanders left wanted single payer healthcare. You see what their priorities are. Their priorities are, well, we cannot allow this insurgency to take over the party. That was my little spiel.
No, that is 100%. And I'm telling everybody, constant vigilance is necessary. Even I would even recommend that everybody take a step back. Like, I know a lot of this stuff is going on, and we're getting barraged with Donald Trump is evil every day, and he is. But let's not get too caught up in the fever, and make sure we can maintain a clear head and make sure we control our own opposition.
Oh, definitely. We can't, and we really cannot. We can't fall into a trap of a unified left if it means giving up our actual. We can't fall into the trap of unity for the sake of unity. We can't fall into the trap of unity for the sake of peace. And I'll tell you why. Because if you can understand the problem with the Democrats compromising with the Republicans as it exists now, you can understand the problem with the progressive left compromising with the Democratic Party in the same way. I'm not saying that we can't work together, but that has to be an equal exchange.
Yeah.
And that can only be done from a position of strength. And what Trump does and what the Democratic Party has been doing for a very long time, and Trump is just the newest way to do it, is make their base afraid. The Democratic Party is trying it. Not historically, but for the past few elections, has positioned themselves as the only legitimate ruling party, and everyone should be afraid of what happens when a Republican gets into office. But we're already there now, right? And largely because of them. So they cannot be, because of them, right? Like this is a monster of the Democratic Party's creation, just as much as the monster of the Republican Party creation. Because when it came time to stand up for and fight against the structural causes of racism and sexism as they exist in economic realities, they chose not to do that. They chose instead to, do these big, grand, symbolic gestures and never seek to, stamp out racism where it lives. It is what it is.
Let me ask you a question. I mean, is Trump really a fascist? Like I've kind of I don't think he necessarily fits the bill for that, and I think they throw that term around a lot.
As someone, like, I adopt the language of whatever. I adopt the language of the majority in terms of describing people, and so, like, in this situation, insofar it doesn't really mean anything to me. And so far, we can recognize that he is incredibly problematic and bad. What you call him is relatively meaningless. I understand what they're indexing when they say fascist. They're trying to make you think of Hitler or Mussolini, when really he's not that bad. I mean, obviously he's not that bad. But so, like, when they talk about fascism, what you do when we come down to, like, oh, well, is he really fascist? Is he really a socialist? Is he, like, that is a meaningless intro to sociology, intro to political science, like, masturbation session that I have no interest in getting involved in. We can call him whatever we want. He's Berlusconi on steroids, right? But whatever. Okay.
No, and the reason why I ask is because, I just think, like, sometimes it's an unfair critique. Like, I think, America's been flirting with its own version of fascism for a very long time, and Donald Trump really isn't, like, an aberration. If you look at right wing leaders moving, looking even some of the left wing leaders, Bill Clinton was pretty rough. If you really look at him objectively and not just through the lens of the media. But with that, excuse me, I didn't mean to burp on the mic like that, but I actually have to get up and head on out. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out and remind everybody, not this Monday, not tomorrow, but the Monday after that, I will be having Professor Darity on to speak about structural issues that we have here.
But even insofar that he is fascist, like, again, there is sort of, like, neo-fascism has been on a rise throughout all of the world since 2008. In France with Le Pen, in South Asia, in Japan, these nationalist parties, in Greece, these nationalist parties always arise in the wake of economic turmoil, just because they capitalize on it. They look for it's what they do. They feed upon it, and so it becomes incumbent upon the people who are in charge to either actively seek to stamp it out in meaningful ways, like, not simply admonish them for being racist or Nazis, but actually address. And this is the thing, my advisor has a great book on this about Le Pen's rise in France, called Integral Europe. And so the important thing is, like, understand that racist has a point. At the core of their critique is a real critique.
And that's something that people aren't ready to do. Like, just because somebody, they want to disregard everything. They don't want to understand that he actually does have a point deep down in there. Maybe he's not articulating it right. Maybe he's not saying it right, but that rage and that anger, it comes from a place, and it comes from a place that's very, very real. And it's more than just the color of somebody's skin.
Exactly.
And whenever you try to talk to somebody about it, they'll never want to acknowledge that. They just want to disregard everything they say because they're hateful people. And it's just like, well, even hateful people deserve to live decent, dignified lives, as hateful as they may be.
And because they're racist, that doesn't mean that they don't have a point about the economic reality of society. And it's like, just because, like, you happen, and same with the Brexit vote, they're like the willingness of people on the, you know, the quote unquote left to dismiss legitimate critiques of the way of the economic structure of society, whether they be critiques that are couched in racism or explicitly racist, is problematic, because ultimately what should be done, like, you know, you say, look, okay, like, I understand you're racist, but you have to actually try to get to the heart of what is bothering them, because they are speaking for other people, and they are speaking to other people. And if you refuse to, but let's be honest now, this is not the reason why the Democrats dismiss a lot of these critiques as inherently racist and unworthy of consideration is not because they don't recognize that there is actually a problem in America. It's because it becomes a very convenient way to dismiss any critique of the capitalist system. It becomes like, because it's like a lot of these critiques, that a lot of these grievances that Trump was making, even though he didn't believe them, no, this neo-fascist right populism is a critique in some way of neoliberalism, and it is a critique in some way of capitalism, and a critique of the material conditions that a lot of part of the middle class in America, the working class in America, they do live. And just because it is racist in rhetoric does not mean it doesn't have a semblance of legitimacy.
And we have to keep in mind something, you know, that right-wing national, the right-wing backlash that's being experienced across the world is because the center left has spent most of its time suppressing the left. The left has been largely suppressed in the system. And so when you have a situation where the left is suppressed and the right is not, the populism is going to rise, and it just goes into the right. And nobody's really afraid of right-wing populism, because right-wing populism ultimately will basically lead in a direction that's not necessarily against corporations or against the power structure or against capitalism. Right-wing populism usually basically pits, one group of people or a dominant group of people against, like, the most vulnerable people who are already suffering to begin with. So, the losers in that are not the corporations. It's only the minorities that lose out.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good point. Center left, center right, basically the centrist neoliberal parties, they simply want to admonish any critique that as it exists. They want to strangle the neoliberal critique in its crib. And so they've done so much. They spent so much time. We talked about this earlier. The Democrats did spend so much time admonishing the Bernie bros that by the time they got to the Trumps, all their critiques sounded the same. They admonished the left the same way they admonished the right. Like, the left was sexist, the right was sexist. Everyone was sexist. If you don't agree with me, you're a sexist. It's just like, even if that were true, and this is something I've always said, it's like, listen, did Clinton get more criticism because she was a woman? Absolutely. Does that make that criticism invalid? No. It simply makes it, it's not an excuse. It's an explanation. She got a lot more criticism because she's a woman, but she's also bad. just like O.J. Simpson got a lot of criticism because he was black, but he also probably committed that murder. So, I mean, it comes down to these things. Like, the left looks for very easy excuses for why, or rather, liberals come for very easy excuses for why they are allowed to, why the system should remain in power. And this was a populist election. And when you silence the left-wing populism, you enable right-wing populism, because both this was an election of grievances towards the system.
Yeah. You know what? Like I tried to do like a couple minutes ago, I'm finally gonna sign off. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Goodbye, Nick. Thank you. So, Dave, what are you playing?
So right now, I cleared the screen up a little bit because, indie production, spur of the moment when Nick leaves can kind of complicate things. But we're gonna get that back up on screen. We've been playing. We played a little bit of Washington D.C. just a moment ago. We've also been playing. Boston, Houston, and as I said, at 4 p.m. there's a protest happening in Atlanta that Anoa Changa will be attending.
That sounds wonderful. Well,
what I'm going to do now is actually play in full the one that Ben did at Boston Airport last night. So we'll give that a play for a little bit. It's been on screen, but you haven't been able to hear anything, so we're going to give that a shot.
well,
And again, this is courtesy of Benjamin Dixon. Last night, he went to the protest at Boston Airport.
You're going to be staying right there. He looks really annoyed. The dog. He's like, I'm tired of this. I've had a long day on my paws.
Let them in. 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 Let them in.
Let them in. Let them in. Let them in.
May habitation request to British Airways Flight 214 to Atlanta. Passenger Jeffrey Passenger Pritchard, Greenwald, passenger Gary Saunders, and Gregory White. Please proceed to gate number 12. Your aircraft is ready for departure.
You tell me I got your back. 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 We got their back. I got their back. I got their back. I got their back. I got their back.
This is an announcement for
We got their back. We got their back.
We got their back.
Their back.
Mediato and
I got your back.
moving to gate number 85.
I got your back.
You will be closed within
I got your back. I got your back. We got their back. We got their backs. We got their backs. We got their backs. I got your back. I got your back. I got your back. You got your back. I 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 got your back. A federal judge has granted a stay. Executive order.
So what you see there is Ben Dixon capturing the moment that Boston Airport and the protesters there learned of the stay by the federal judge.
speak in short sentences.
One has to speak in short sentences.
And not say things like one.
And not say things like one.
So I'm here.
I am here.
Because I'm an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant.
And nowhere else.
And nowhere else.
Other than America.
Other than America.
Could my story have been possible?
Could my story have been possible?
A boy growing up.
A boy growing up.
In Mumbai.
In Mumbai.
Could have never imagined.
Could have never imagined.
Standing on the other side of the arrivals.
Standing on the other side of the arrivals.
Protesting.
Protesting.
To let people in.
To let people in.
And there is a lot of work to be done.
And there is a lot of work to be done.
Because the immigration system.
Because the immigration system
is broken.
Is broken.
And we're not going to be safer.
And we're not going to be safer.
When we discriminate.
When we discriminate.
And keep people out.
And keep people out.
Our strength.
Our strength.
Comes from each other.
Comes from each other.
E pluribus unum.
E pluribus unum.
Out of many.
Out of many.
One.
So what's on your screen right now is a live protest at Phoenix, I believe it's Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport, if I got the name right. And so we're going to go into that since it's live, and we'll go back to Ben Dixon in a bit. From Wensco40 on Periscope, WENSCO40.
I have 5 people.
So now we'll go back to the Boston protest last night. We're keeping an eye on the Atlanta protest that's about to start soon, and we'll bring that to you when we have it. This is back to Benjamin Dixon's feed from last night at Boston Airport.
Close meeting.
on justice. I was told one has to speak in short sentences. And not say things like one. So I'm here because I'm an immigrant. And nowhere else other than America could my story have been possible. A boy growing up in Mumbai could have never imagined standing on the other side of the arrivals, protesting to let people in. And there is a lot of work to be done. Because the immigration system is broken. And we're not going to be safer
be safer.
When we discriminate.
When we discriminate.
And keep people out.
And keep people out.
Standing on the other side of the arrival.
Sorry about the interruption there, guys. I'm not quite sure why it had frozen, but we just noticed it now, so we got it working up again.
Protesting. To let people in. And there is a lot of work to be done. Because the immigration system. Is broken. And we're not going to be safer. When we discriminate. And keep people out.
Will you guys take a step towards me?
Watch out for the
Take one more step. And then take another. Thank you. Also, please try to not block the hallway behind you guys. Thank you. Secondly, it sounds, oh no, hold on, one. There's still one family that has yet to be reunited. So let's keep the pressure at a maximum.
If you're just tuning in, this is Benjamin Dixon's feed from last night at Boston Airport.
This is what America looks like. has just confirmed the ruling against the executive order.
Retweet this. Retweet. Mic check.
My name is Carl Williams. I'm an attorney with the American Civil Liberties Union.
I'm an attorney with the ACLU.
The ACLU nationally
The ACLU nationally
filed for a writ of habeas corpus to stop this nationally. A judge in New York just granted that. So this ends now. The legal premise that we've learned tonight is that when we fight, we This will not be the last fight. This won't be the last fight. We'll be back. It might be tomorrow. It might be next week. But I'll tell you one thing. I've been to the future. We won.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. 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 No hate, no fear.
no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome.
So if you're just tuning in, that was the Benjamin Dixon stream from last night on Periscope of the protest that occurred at Boston Airport. There was another one today at a park, I believe. I don't have the name on screen now, and we're looking for footage of that. What I'm going to play now is another feed from Houston last night. Another protest at, I believe this is Houston Airport, and we're waiting for feed from Atlanta. Anoa Changa is attending that protest today.
This is what democracy looks like. 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 This is what democracy looks like.
And we'll worry later after what organizations people end up in, but right now we need to be in communication and in one resistance, not a divide and conquer situation, and not just talking to national folks who don't know what's happening in Austin, don't know what's happening with Sally, who's trying in Austin, that's trying to not sign. You know, Abbott's trying to get all of our police commissioners and our sheriffs to sign a loyalty oath, promising that if you don't coordinate with ICE, you will not get state funding, right? So how do we know what our sheriff's doing? What do we know what the sheriff in El Paso is doing? We are all just divided and moving in too many directions. So we're trying to pull people into one place that you can get the right information about the right actions that you want to take that day. Because as Fran said, there won't be 3 protests next week. There'll probably be 7, right? You will not be rested. So please get your phone out now. Don't wait till you get home. Don't do it tomorrow. Get yourselves plugged in. Thank you. All right. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. No ban, no wall, 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 no ban, no wall. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When labor rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When LGBTQ rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Black lives are on the line, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back. When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When human rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When human rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Syrian rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Muslim rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When women's rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When trans rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
We're going to go live now to Atlanta. Anoa Changa is in Atlanta, and she has a feed, so we're going to get that up for you. Sorry about the brief interruption there. We're back. This is Atlanta. Anoa Changa's in Atlanta at the protest happening today, right now, and this is a live feed of that. The feed stream seems to be freezing. Excuse me. But we're gonna refresh it. If it doesn't come back, we'll go to an earlier video we have.
Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear.
Okay, they seem to be having some signal issues. Could just be a lot going out from that one area because of the protest. But we're going to switch back over to the Houston airport, and we also have received some footage from Washington, D.C.
No fear, immigrants are welcome here, no hate. 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 Brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite. Black, brown, Asian, white, all the people must unite.
2468, Houston don't discriminate.
2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. 2468, Houston don't discriminate. What do we do for justice? Organize, resist. 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 What do we do for justice?
So we just got some more feed from Atlanta. We're going to give this a shot from Anoa Changa again.
Let them stay. 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 Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here.
So we're going to go and show some images from Washington today. We don't have video, but we do have images, and we'll keep playing some of the other feeds as well.
Organize, resist. What do we do for justice? Organize, resist. What do we do for justice? Organize, resist. Houston! I would like to say, as a Muslim are not allowed to come back. I see everyone here today. My father led a dictatorship in the 70s for America, for education, for equality, and I'm so proud, and I'm gonna cry. Okay. But thank you guys so much. Profiling is with unity. Everybody is different, and if everyone accepted that and just supported one another, this world would be beautiful.
Picking up the intermittent stream there of Michael Moore live at JFK. See if he can connect. We can connect.
Muslims are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Immigrants are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. And refugees are under attack. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, it may snow, till justice we won't go. It may rain, JFK, no fascist USA. Hey, hey, 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 JFK, no fascist USA. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Tell me what America looks like. This is what America looks like. Tell me what America looks like. This is what America looks like. Tell me what America looks like. This is what America looks like. Tell me what America looks like. This is what America looks like. Tell me what New York looks like. This is what New York looks like. Tell me what New York looks like. This is what New York looks like. Tell me what New York looks like. This is what New York looks like. Tell me what the best. This is what democracy.
Playing in the background is protests from the JFK airport yesterday. The images on screen are from today in Washington, D.C.
Let them in, 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 let them in. I said no bridges, you say no walls. Build bridges, not 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 walls. Build bridges, not.
These images come courtesy of Sam Sapp. Excuse me, Sam Snap.
Build the wall, we'll tear it down. 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 No fascist USA. Hey, hey, JFK. 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 No fascist fascist USA. Hey, hey, JFK. No fascist USA. No fascist USA. Hey, hey, JFK. 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 No fascist USA. No fear. Muslims are welcome here. No hate. 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 No fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Refugees are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Refugees are welcome.
This is going back to the protest at JFK yesterday, and we're going to see if we have more from Atlanta right now or Boston.
No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. 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 No hate, no fear. Muslims are welcome here. No hate, no fear.
We are not going to.
No hate, no fear. Muslims are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Muslims are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Muslims are welcome here. No hate.
We're actually going to go right now to coverage being given by Our Revolution TV, ORTV, and they have a show called The Robust Opposition. They're covering day 2 of the protest as well. So we're going to take some feed from them, courtesy of Dave Conan and the rest of the team at Robust Opposition.
Ready to help anyone who does get detained. So far, we don't have any reports of any new travelers being detained by immigration officials, but immigration attorneys are here watching, and they're also here checking with different relatives or maybe waiting for loved ones who may not come out of customs. See there's some announcements going on here.
Your bags can be found on you checked in golf club, car keys, or any oversized items. You may
2468 2468 2468 2468
Up with love and down with hate. Up with love and down with hate. Up with love and down with hate.
What's up, Revolutionaries? DC here, bringing you as many live streams as I can find and put up on the channel here at ourrevolution.tv. Make sure you subscribe and get notifications. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of this year, next couple of years.
If you're just joining us, we're here at Dulles International Airport,
this is NPR
right outside of
Dulles.
Washington, D.C. This is one of many protests happening in lots of different cities around the country today. And these are folks who have been here, some of them for most of the afternoon, protesting against President Donald Trump's travel ban by executive order that he issued on Friday. We also have here some different lawyers, most of them immigration attorneys on the other side of this airport terminal, ready to help anyone who is detained by immigration officials. Right now you can hear behind me protesters chanting, "The whole world is watching."
As I was saying, that was NPR from Dulles International Airport. We've got live feeds from Washington, from New York, from San Francisco. BuzzFeed News is out there. Vox is out there. Washington Post.
You're looking at right now in front of the protesters and their signs. That is the doors, and when they open, you see travelers coming out. International travelers have come through past the customs inspection, and they're on their way to their next destination with their luggage. And today here at Dulles International Airport, and yesterday, they were being greeted by protesters, welcoming them back home, and also criticizing President Donald Trump's travel ban.
Up with love and down with hate. Up with love and down with hate. Up with love and down with hate.
I'm a federal employee, so I'm not able to talk to the press, but thank you.
If you're just joining us, we're live here at Dulles International Airport. Right behind me is the gate where travelers are passing through if they've taken an international flight and they pass through customs inspection. And today here at Dulles International Airport, they're being greeted by protesters as they were yesterday. Folks here criticizing the travel ban instituted by President Donald Trump's executive
now
order.
Sort of forming a rally here, chanting, as you can hear behind us.
Water
and
bottles,
there's going to be
some clementines,
a host of speakers coming up. We're not exactly sure who there will be, but people are certainly waiting and still passionate and out here. We're going to find a few people to talk to, but we're just going to give you guys a few more images of the crowd before we do that.
Let's see if I can get anywhere. TBD, honestly.
And U.S.-born workers from every part.
And if you're just joining us, we're live here at Dulles International Airport here at the International Arrivals Terminal, checking with different protesters. And here is Jeff from Virginia. Jeff, what does your sign say here?
Says this land is your land.
How'd you come up with that?
Oh, I think it was my daughter.
This is for your daughter?
Well, I think my daughter came up with it, yeah.
Your daughter came up with it. How old's your daughter?
She's 7. She's over there in the front of the line.
There.
Absolutely.
What have you been talking to her about? What is this protest about? How do you explain it to her?
Boy, yeah, that's a tough one. You know, we were sitting at home, and just the thought of people behind those doors over there not able to get through, not able to get legal representation, you know, we just couldn't stay at home, so that's why we're here.
You're concerned about the folks who are personally impacted by the travel ban?
Absolutely. That are being detained without representation. It's an atrocity.
Have you participated before today?
I was home watching the kids while my wife was at the Women's March a few days ago. Yeah, last weekend. So it was my turn. We're today.
Describe what you've seen so far today since you've been here.
I don't know, just a lot of people, democracy in action. We have folks with Trump signs. That's fine. We have folks here. This is what democracy looks like. You hear the chant. Isn't it great?
What do you hope changes after this protest happens and other protests continue?
Well, I hope the one executive order is shot down in court permanently. I think there was a stay by a federal judge. The system works, to be honest with you.
There was an order by a federal judge in New York that put a nationwide temporary block on deporting refugees and other type are banned by the travel ban.
Correct, and I don't know if there was an Alexandria judge this morning that, I don't know, I don't fully understand. My wife was trying to brief me on the way here, but
Sure,
I'm just hoping the right thing happens, you know?
Right, and that question maybe some of our viewers have. There is another order issued, amongst other ones, by a federal judge in Alexandria, Virginia, late last night, that give rights specifically here in Virginia, detainees to make sure they have access to lawyers. And so that was a specific order that way. How long do you plan on staying today?
We'll see until the 3-year-old gets hungry.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, if you're joining us, we're here at Dulles International Airport here at a protest against the travel ban put in place by President Donald Trump's executive order. You hear protesters chanting, of course. Let's take a listen.
We got the power.
We gotta continue moving.
We gotta continue moving.
That way.
That way.
There's hundreds of people
that
still trying to get into the port. So we gotta keep moving.
And also waiting to see what the new federal orders, how that is going to help folks that have already been detained going forward. And again, probably don't see around me, but on the other side of this terminal are immigration attorneys trying to help out anyone who is detained. We pan over to this side of the terminal. You can see we've got law enforcement officers and folks. Some of them probably are travelers just getting off a flight, or maybe they're waiting for their loved ones to get off of a flight.
Sounds of the Revolution on OurRevolution.tv. You're watching live streams from across the country of protests, continued protests, second day in a row. And feed from NPR, Fox, BuzzFeed News, coming from New York, Dallas, San Francisco, all over. Most of the day today, since about 7 a.m. Eastern today, and I can tell you this was a much quieter airport terminal, and there were a lot more seats here for different travelers and people waiting to welcome folks. But security folks and airport workers have moved around the seats, and they also set up barriers here. There's some cheers. It sounds like we have some new international travelers arriving, coming through customs. And we've been hearing this all afternoon in between the different chants, people cheering and applauding as travelers go by.
And I was fearful, but honestly, this is even worse than I thought it would be like. And it's only been a little over a week, and already we are seeing just such fascism, honestly. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And if we even let it go on for a little bit, then it'll be even more difficult to fight against it. So we have to be strong from the very first this moment to build up momentum and to, you know, not give them any sort of leeway. You know, we have to nip it in the bud, like, immediately.
Right. And what do you say to critics who say this is an overreaction, that this is only for 7 countries, it's not permanent?
So that doesn't mean it's not wrong, you know. And I feel like with this president, who shouldn't be a president, we've seen the way he reacts to small amounts of criticism. We've seen the tantrums that he has. If we give him an inch, he's going to take a mile. And even if this is temporary, what is temporary? And temporary is still too long for the people who are trying to get in here. Like, people have to get their heads out of their asses, think about other people, even if they're not being affected by this. That doesn't mean it's not important.
And what's your message to people who are watching at home? Do you think more people should be coming out in the streets? What do you think people should do if they feel like they want to make a difference?
I think coming out to the streets is actually very important. I mean, look at what happened yesterday. I'm not saying that there wouldn't have been the halt if people hadn't gone to protest at JFK, but honestly, it wouldn't have been as fast. You know, like, by the end of the day, there was already change, and that might still be temporary, but it's something, you know?
Yeah. And are you surprised by the volume of people who are coming out in protests in the last week?
A little bit, because it was very last minute, and, you know, maybe it's because some people couldn't make it yesterday, or maybe some people were inspired by yesterday. Honestly, I'm really happy to see how many people made it out, because, I mean, a lot of people have already left because they were here for hours before. And it's just really good to see that people are so fast to react, because that's what we need. That's really what we need right now.
Talking to them about the unconstitutional executive actions that Donald Trump took.
Right. There were a number of representatives that did come by and visit, talk to the crowd, and also try to figure out if there are anyone still being detained here at the airport, which is still unclear.
They were seeking that information, and I'm not 100% sure that they received any information whether people were being detained or not, because we even have a line of lawyers providing pro bono services to people, because families are waiting out here, and there's so much uncertainty thanks to this terrible executive action that Donald Trump took.
Thank you very much. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you guys for being out here.
Thank you.
That you can go to Box.com.
Again, if you're just joining us, we're here at Dulles International Airport, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Of writers, some of them are
We're hearing
deceased.
cheers as international travelers are coming out of customs inspection. And of course, you're hearing some announcements here at the airport. If you're just joining us, you are listening to some of the chanting here at Dulles International Airport, just outside of Washington, D.C. Protesters here are chanting, "No hate, no fear, refugees."
They're here in response to Trump's immigration or executive order and in support of the federal court that granted a stay on all deportations related to it. Some people have been here since yesterday. I was here about 2 o'clock, and I see some of the same organizers and some of the same signs. I'm headed upstairs now because there's a group that's protesting at Checkpoint A, hoping that it can get the attention of immigration officials, customs. There's a rumor going around that customs is defying the court-ordered stay, which many legal scholars have said would be a constitutional crisis. That would be a big deal. It's unclear if that's the case, though. There are about a dozen lawyers here now offering legal aid to refugees and their families. Another thread in San Francisco is that the tech industry has responded with anger to varying degrees at Trump's immigration order. the tech industry relies pretty heavily on H-1B visas to recruit technical talent. Sergey Brin, the founders of Google, was here yesterday at the airport, and he gave a comment, "I am here because I am a refugee." All right, there's a pretty sizable they're playing music. It looks kind of fun. Let's see what's going on.
If you're just tuning in, this is currently the feed from our associates at Our Revolution TV and the Robust Opposition. Right now, the feed is being hosted by Dave Conan, also a member of Project Sanity. So we're going to stick with this for a couple more minutes, and we may also have some feeds from Atlanta. But Dave Conan's currently showing several feeds from across the country.
Portland spokesman told us yesterday that there were no detainments that he knew of at the airport here yesterday. And so this protest is sort of a sympathetic gesture to other airports across the country where similar demonstrations are taking place.
Again, if you're just tuning in, this is feed from our the Robust Opposition and Our Revolution TV, associates of Progressive Army. The host right now on that feed is Dave Cohen, and he's he's a member of Project Sanity, a show on Progressive Army. If you're just tuning in, this is a feed from Our Revolution TV on YouTube. It's a Progressive Army affiliate, and it's also it hosts the show, the weekly show, The Robust Opposition. Dave Conan is currently producing the feed. He's a member of Progressive Army, which is a show on Progressive Army. I'm sorry, he's a member of Project Sanity, which is a show on Progressive Army. Sorry, it's been a bit of a long day. Anyway, here's back to that feed. He's showing streams from across the country that are happening live today.
Well, anything really happening at the airport here? As you can see, nobody's marching toward the gates. It's all over here near the Southwest and United Terminals. And the crowd's heading down to baggage claim as well. I don't know about you, but I don't think I've ever seen a demonstration just kind of ride down the escalator.
I want to thank all of you for today's
For those of you just joining us, we are at Portland International Airport, where protest has started to march against the executive order signed by President Donald Trump, barring re-entry or immigration from 7 Muslim-majority nations.
We're actually going to cut away for a few minutes. This is a feed from Atlanta. Noah Changa's there, and we've got a few feeds there, so we're gonna bring those to you.
Let's try everything to support the immigrants. Let's support the immigrants. Thank you so much for all of you coming down here. Thank you. Support always. Let's keep the war. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep fighting for refugees. Let's keep fighting. Thank you.
Process. Yes!
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Shalom alaikum. May peace be upon you. My name is Edward Offendis. I'm the Director of Care Georgia, that's the Georgia chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations. I'm here today with my 3 younger brothers who were at their first protest. I want to thank all of you for coming today to remind Donald Trump that he's the president, not the emperor. Not the chancellor. And certainly not the king. We have a new president, but not a new constitution. And we intend to uphold our constitution. No bigot and no president will tell us otherwise. Bigots always lose because bigots are inherently irrational, and irrational people are inherently self-destructive. But over the past week, we've seen that we are going to, God willing, speed this self-destruction up. We are not going to sit idly by.
No!
Refuse. No! Refuse. No! With our rights, and God willing, we will win. Jewish neighbors and my Christian neighbors and my fellow Muslims and my fellow African Americans and my white neighbors and my Hispanic neighbors. We are with you. Let's stand together. We may have different races, different religions, different backgrounds, but we're united today. As I said last week, at the Atlanta March for Social Justice and Women, that all of us may have different views about how to run the village we call America. But there's no time to debate how to run the village when a madman is coming to burn it down. So over the next 4 years, and hopefully shorter than that, protect our rights. Let's pray, let's fight, let's organize, and God willing, we will win. Thank you.
You're not getting tired, are you sure? Yes! Are you ready to fight? Yes! No hate! No fear! The time to fight is here! No hate! No fear! The time to fight is here! No hate! No fear! The time to fight is here! No hate! No fear! The time to fight is here! No hate! No fear! The time to fight is here! No hate, no fear. The time to fight is here. No hate, no fear. The time to fight is here. No hate, no fear. The time to fight is here. No hate, no fear. The time to fight is here. No hate. Figure out what we're gonna do. We're gonna. I am so short. Sanctuary city. We're not going to let white supremacists get to our Muslim brothers and sisters, to our undocumented people, to our trans people, to our Jewish family. Move together.
If you're just tuning in, a bit earlier we were streaming the feed from Our Revolution TV and the Robust Opposition. We're going to return to that in a bit. We have this footage from Anoa Changa in Atlanta from today, and we're just showing a few of those streams.
We must win! We must fight! We must win! We must fight! We must what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
So we're now going to return to the feed from Our Revolution TV and the Robust Opposition, being streamed by Dave Ponin, also a member of Project Sanity on Progressive Army. We're going to go return to that feed. They're showing feeds from all across the country, multiple states, New York, San Francisco, Portland, and the bottom left I am unsure of, but hopefully we will catch a mention of it.
It's personal.
Right. Did it have any added weight given the day that it was signed?
Of course it did. Holocaust Memorial Day. It's hard for me to talk about it without tears. I mean, it's personal. It's personal. All the stories. The St. Louis, the ship that couldn't come in to America because people decided that no, we couldn't take any more immigrants, so they steered them back to Europe to die. My own people, all these wonderful people from all of these countries, of course, targeting against Muslims, targeting against Latinos. It's ridiculous. These dignified, wonderful human beings, and my heart goes out to them.
And is there anything that you would like to say to maybe people in the comment stream here or otherwise who say the president is doing the right thing?
All I want to say is that impulse is so misdirected. I understand that people want to respect their own circumscribed boundaries, their own nation's history, but they have to read their history too and know that this country is made up of immigrants. The only ones who can claim that they have a priority here are the Native Americans, and we know where they are. They've been pushed to the fringes. It's wrong. It's just unethical, inhumane. And it's the last thing our country should be doing. Just think about the Statue of Liberty. That's all we need to say.
Well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And so for those of you just joining us, we are at Portland International Airport, where
we've been communicating with people overseas, everyone who is has flights scheduled to come here. There are very few organizations that are able to track who's on their way here. And so for organizations like the ACLU and the International Refugee, it's very hard for them to understand where people are being stopped if they don't have that information, which we've been gathering for them.
We've creating kind of a network of information for them.
Mm-hmm. So this has already started to pay off. We have been using this information to make sure that we have attorneys at every airport nationally where people may potentially be detained. and communicate the rights to people before they arrive, so they know that if they're being told all of a sudden that your valid visa that you were vetted to receive you're now being told that this visa is not going to allow you into the United States, that they know that they have the right to ask for asylum and a credible fear interview. We actually have had several of our clients detained. We had an Iraqi family detained in Philadelphia, and he has since been released thanks to the actions of these volunteer attorneys who are doing an amazing job. The other reason why we're here as well is many of our clients are terrified, and they're rushing here as quickly as possible. Even the Afghans who are not supposed to be caught up in this current ban. Afghanistan is not listed on any of the banned countries. The special immigrant visa is not in and of itself listed as a banned document that's no longer accepted. However, at this point, after all Iraqi interpreters have just been betrayed, it's very hard to convince Afghans that they are not also at risk. So they're frantically coming to the United States, and the consequences of this are that these Afghans who are coming here, they're borrowing as much money as they can, they're selling everything that they have, and rushing here. And so we also are set up so that we can prevent these families from being homeless once they come to the U.S., because we really consider them American veterans as well.
You're trying to find temporary housing for them.
Temporary housing, and our organization will actually get them into long-term housing and then help them find jobs and have mentors help them get settled into their community. We want to make sure that all of our interpreters from Afghanistan and Iraq who serve with the U.S. military, we want them to know that there are so many people here who want them here as part of their community. This is home now.
They've earned it. Quite frankly, they've earned it. You know, you just met the guy who saved my life. He's the real veteran here. I did one tour. That guy did 8. I'm one of 5 Americans who's alive today because of him. None of us know each other, by the way. We never served in the same army units together or even the same deployments. On 5 separate occasions, that guy has killed enemy fighters to keep people like me alive. That's the type of people we're talking about that are caught up in this craziness. And that's why we're not going to stop fighting until they get here, because we were taught when we first joined the military, you don't leave a buddy on the battlefield. You leave no one behind. Well, if we let this happen, that's exactly what we're going to do. Is we're going to leave thousands. We're talking thousands of these people are going to be left behind to die at the hands of the very people that we asked them to help us fight. I want to point out something that I think is really critical that your viewers might not be aware of. Customs and Border Patrol at Dulles are currently not letting these attorneys access any of the detained individuals, nor would they even let members of Congress.
They also will not tell them how many people are back there.
And at this point, we haven't got any confirmation if there are any people, but there's speculation that there may be.
We've heard the number thrown around that there are as many as between 30 and 45 people. But again, we're not attorneys, and there's been absolutely no communication from Customs and Border Control, no confirmation.
We haven't been able to confirm that either at NPR News.
What we have been able to confirm is we've been able to confirm on multiple occasions throughout the world in the last 24 hours, our Iraqi clients who have had valid visas to come to the United States have been pulled off their flights wherever they are and sent back to Iraq. And the hardship that incurs has got to be unbearable. Think about this. You just get your visa. You've waited on average 3 years for this. And in many instances, you've been in hiding for 3 years. You're on the plane. You're 10 minutes from taking off to your new life in America, and Turkish police come on, and they pull you and your wife and your daughter off, who's crying. And they tell you got to go back to Iraq, where in the past weeks have sold your home, all of your earthly possessions, because you're only allowed to bring 1 suitcase per person, right? And now you're being sent back to a country you have no home, no items, and most people think you were leaving forever and might not have even seen you for years because you've been hiding. What are you supposed to do at that point? If this happened to me, I'd be furious at the people who did this to me, and that's what we're so afraid of.
Well, let's remind our viewers we're here at Dulles International Airport. We are speaking with different volunteers, advocates here for immigrants, refugees who may be caught up by this travel ban instituted by President Donald Trump's executive order. We want to check in to see if you have any questions before we turn away. Again, this is also the site of protests against President Donald Trump's travel ban that's been going on for most of this afternoon. And organizers here, they say they are planning for this protest to go on to at least 8 p.m. Eastern. And we also have a lot of immigration attorneys here ready to help anyone who may be detained because of this travel ban. And so far, it's a very, very busy scene. I've been here since 7 a.m. this morning, and lots of people still streaming in and out. And I want to thank you then for joining us here at Dulles International Airport. Stay tuned to NPR for more coverage of how people are protesting.
Not quite NPR. Just a little bit of NPR, who is out at Dulles Airport. But you're watching OurRevolution.tv. Please subscribe and get notifications when we go live for these protests that are obviously going to be happening quite a lot. Currently watching Portland, New York City, San Francisco, and that was Dulles Airport, and Los Angeles coming up.
So once again, if you're joining us, as you just heard Dave say, this is a feed from Our Revolution TV and the Robust Opposition. Right now, the stream's being done by Dave Ponen. Earlier, we had Nick Nowlin and Brandon Sutton on discussing the situation. We've been showing feeds for several hours now. And Dave is, again, the one streaming the feed you're seeing. He is also a member of Project Sanity, which airs on Progressive Army. So make sure to go over and subscribe to both Our Revolution TV, that channel, to know when they come up, and also, as always, the Benjamin Dixon Show. We stream as much as possible whenever events are on, so that we can bring everything to you, especially what the mainstream media won't. We'll go back now to the 4 feeds he's showing, or at the moment 3, in Portland, New York City, and San Francisco.
National security by feeding right into the ISIS line that we are a nation at war with Islam. We are not at war with Islam. Suzanne Bonamici is here. Let's give her a big welcome.
Education Secretary nominee who doesn't know anything about public education. In December of 2015, the then governor of Indiana said a Muslim ban would be unconstitutional and offensive. That's Mike Pence, who's now our vice president. And you know what? It is offensive and unconstitutional. It's also inhumane and un-American. That's not what we stand for as a country. This is a country founded by immigrants. We don't turn our backs on refugees from war-torn countries. We're going to do everything we can to push back against this hateful executive order that's already affecting people's lives across the country. I just spoke with a gentleman in Hillsborough. I represent Northwest Oregon, whose fiance is supposed to be here this week. He's so concerned and afraid and doesn't know what's going to happen. This is affecting people's lives across the country, and it's wrong. It's not the United States of America we stand for. And as Senator Merkley said, this isn't making us any safer. One of the first people who was detained in New York, he's one of the Iraqi translators who helped our troops. And what message does it send to then turn our back on somebody like that? It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop. So we're heading back to Washington, D.C. to fight this administration, to say we need to follow the United States Constitution. I have Muslim friends who know more about the Constitution than the president. And get back to, we want the America that we all believe in, that we value diversity. We're not going to turn our backs on women and children and people fleeing war-torn countries. This is the United States of America. Let's fight together.
Is here, and he has said very clearly, we will protect the sanctuary status of Portland. Here today. This executive order by President Trump is reckless and it's wrong.
I want to be very clear. Portland will continue to be an open and welcoming community for all people. Regardless of their religion. And as your mayor, I'm going to work with our federal delegation. I'm going to work with our state officials, with our county officials, and others to figure out how to enact that.
It's your opportunity! Where's your riot thugs now? Yeah! Where's your riot thugs? Go back to your mansion! This is your time to fess up to what the fuck's been done! Or are we safe as long as you're here? You hypocrite! We'll never give you a chance! You are a hypocrite! You're a hypocrite! We'll never forget January 20th! We'll never forget January 20th! We'll never forget Day 20! Where's your permit? Where's your permit? We'll never forget Day 20! Where's your permit? Where's your permit?
No hate, no fear. Everyone is welcome here. 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 No hate, no fear.
Thank you for starting that. That's awesome.
No fear. Everyone is welcome here. No hate, 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 no fear.
All right, so we're here with, can you tell me your name? Luis Marquez. All right. And so you're the one who began chanting against Mayor Ted Wheeler when he kind of stepped up to talk about how he was going to protect Portland as a sanctuary city. Can you just tell us a little bit about what brought you to start chanting against him?
Mayor Wheeler has called for a crackdown on protesters here in Portland, violently. Mayor Wheeler will not let us out in the streets without a $3,000 permit. The same thing he's out here for with us. We get arrested. Our leaders are thrown in jail. Our protesters, for something that's a cite and fine and release, we're thrown in jail and beaten for without warning. It's not right. It's like having Goering here.
Right. So your beef is with him coming out here to speak today after, I guess, the okay that he gave riot cops on January 20th.
Our beef is his actions show that he does not stand for anything that he sits here and tell every one of his community, every person that's part of his community, he doesn't stand for that. He just says that to make them happy so they go home, so they stop protesting. We're not here. His actions need to show that he stands with us. Not just his words, not his lies, not the bullshit he pulls out of his ass.
Amen.
That's what he's trying to say.
Appreciate your perspective on that. Thank you very much. What brought you out here originally?
Man, every day you wake up, there's something new to protest, right? Every day you wake up, there's something new to be angry and upset about. And as someone who comes from a family of immigrants, I stand with all immigrants. This is America, man. We all have the right to dream. We all have the right to come and be whatever we can dream we can be. No one can stop us. Greg, this is the Oregonian.
Hey, Greg. How's it going?
Hey, Greg.
So, they just coming because we heckled the crap out of Wheeler. How you doing? So, I thought you might want to talk to him. I don't know. What are you on live stream right now?
Oh, well, yeah, I am on live stream. We were just chatting about folks speaking up against Mayor Wheeler when he came up to take the mic.
Sure, so I think it's incredibly frustrating that we have a free speech zone here when Ted Wheeler decides to come to an unpermitted protest and was willing to say that we were gassed and sprayed on J20 for being at an unpermitted protest. But at the same time, I do think it's important that Ted came out here today and that the whole city of Portland is standing up against fascism and the Muslim ban, regardless if they were standing up against peaceful protesters being gassed.
And so I guess before the hoopla with Mayor Wheeler, what originally brought you out here today?
was here yesterday, and I told people that I'd be back today at 2 o'clock, so I'm back here today. But you know, just the fact that we have a Muslim ban in effect is just wrong. And I think that where do we want to go down in history? Do we want to be the people that stood by and let this happen, or do we want to be people who stood up and said, no, this was not okay? We're on the right side of history, and I think it's important that the city of Portland, our city, my city, is here to stand up against Predator Trump.
How's today's crowd compared to yesterday's?
Today's is less mobile, but bigger. But the thing is, we have a great mix of Women's March people, J20 March people. It's going to take everybody who resists Donald Trump's policies to stop these types of policies. And we need a diversity of tactics. Some people are going to have unpermitted marches. Some people are going to have permitted marches. Some people are going to come to the airport and not get a permit. Some people are going to come to the airport and the mayor will show up and then it's declared a free speech zone. These are the types of things that we're going to need to do to all resist Trump. I don't care if you're a Hillary Clinton supporter or an anarchist. We can all agree on certain things like equality is good, xenophobia and homophobia are bad. Global warming is real. We should breathe clean air. Regardless of your political affiliation, there should be a basis of facts that we deal with. And I think that these people are here to support that basis of facts.
Thanks so much for your time,
community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show them what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show them what community looks like.
Democracy Now! Down there in the lower left-hand corner. Getting the audio from them right now. They're live at JFK.
This is what community looks like. Show them what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show them what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show them what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
Showing what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Showing what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Showing what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Showing what community looks like.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA.
We have tuba.
That leaving today, we are tweeting, writing.
Fuck you, asshole!
Looks like there's a little bit of commotion. For those of you just joining us, we are at Portland International Airport covering a protest where hundreds have shown up to demonstrate against a ban on entry and immigration from 7 Muslim-majority countries signed by President Donald Trump on Friday. It does look like there's a bit of a commotion over here, so we'll see what's going on.
Complainers, snowflakes. That's what they are. Go home right now, snowflakes. We don't want that country. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump. I love you! You're a liar! I love you! You're a liar! What's your name? You're a liar! What's your name? What's your name? I want to know your name. Hello! Hi! Hi, my name's Darius. What's your name? Sir, come with me. I said, I didn't want to know his name. Get off of me. Get off of me.
You fucking pigs!
This guy. Get up! What are you doing? Leviticus 19:24. You got the
So for those of you just joining us now, we are at Portland International Airport, where hundreds have shown up to protest the executive order signed by President Donald Trump on Friday, banning immigration and barring re-entry from 7 Muslim-majority countries back into the United States. What you just saw was one man with a bullhorn who was saying that he did not want the refugees here. He did not want refugees from countries like Syria here, who was escorted away by Port Police. It looks like we've got a similar situation here with another man with another bullhorn.
So right now we're watching a feed from Portland, the Oregonian, at the Portland International Airport, where some white supremacists with bullhorns are trying to do a counter-protest, I guess you would call it.
put a block. You're censoring our block. We can just argue this. I know it's because you don't want to look bad. Christian assaulted in front of the airport. Go. What you've already let happen.
Just joining us, we're at Portland International Airport, where hundreds of people have gathered to protest against the executive order signed by President Donald Trump on Friday that halts immigration and re-entry to the United States in 7 Muslim-majority countries. Now, about a few minutes ago, there were 4 men and a child who had come out with bullhorns to, I guess, give an alternate opinion, saying that they did not want refugees from countries such as Syria to resettle in the United States, who were quickly mobbed by the rest of the protesters, basically surrounded so that they couldn't move forward, and were just escorted away from this so-called free speech zone by Port of Portland police.
This particular floor at the airport is in fact closed down. They have blocked off various the escalators and the various gates that are going in here. They are still hearing about the fact that certain custom agents are not listening to the federal order that said that they were supposed to let let people go and not detain them. So as you can hear, people are yelling, "Let them go," because of that. And the crowd is not dissipating anytime soon.
This is the Periscope of the Elon James White. I know a lot of folks follow him. I certainly do on Twitter. This is his Periscope.
Of our answers. And we are calling on
Can I stand behind you?
For now. There is a lot of misinformation being shared by the airport authorities about what is actually happening with the detained families. We urge you to trust in the leadership of the women of color standing before you, who are organized, who are communicating with all the right people, and can guarantee you that people are still detained. We will not follow orders or get our information with those invested in and who have demonstrated that they will comply with the Trump administration. We rely on one another. We hold them accountable. We are not accountable to them. Whether it is law enforcement, airport security, Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security, or the Trump administration, we are listening to the people that matter, to the people that care, and the people that know how to get us all free, and to make sure we stay free.
fucking prick! Fuck you!
And on that note, revolutionaries, we've been watching lots of streams from around the nation protesting Donald Trump. We just had a Lon James White Periscope from San Francisco. We've been getting the Oregonian here from Portland, where we saw a bit of a scuffle between some Donald Trump supporters of the Muslim ban, immigration ban, and protesters. See if there's some information coming. Another full day of protests of the Trump administration across the country. New York City, Washington, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, Detroit, Dallas, all over the place. Started out this morning with Our Revolution having a rally against Betsy DeVos being appointed as Secretary of Education. And they just continued the protests from yesterday, which started at JFK. They returned there and to different airports around the country. You've been watching OurRevolution.tv, live coverage, Facebook streams and periscopes and streams of citizen journalists and real mainstream media outlets getting out there in the streets as well. Washington Post, New York Times, NPR, Vox, BuzzFeed News. Thanks to all those guys being out there in the streets today. And I think we're going to be busy here at Our Revolution TV. Make sure you subscribe, get notifications for whenever we go live. And join us on Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. for the Robust Opposition with Lauren Steiner. And we'll see you soon, probably this week. Lots of protests happening. Actually, I'm going to go live. I think I'm going to the Kenneth Mejia, a Green candidate for Congress here in our district in Southern California to replace special election, to replace
Hey folks, we're going to take a brief break. We may be back for a bit with some of our hosts, so keep your eyes peeled. That may be coming in a few minutes. But this has been coverage from Progressive Army and affiliate Our Revolution TV and Robust Opposition. The stream for the last couple hours has been by Dave Conan from Our Revolution TV. We'll be back in a few minutes, possibly.